I don't have some magic spiritual gift that you guys don't all have. That's not the case. The truth is, you guys can all do what I do. I'm literally just a normal guy who does construction work. I'm not some guru spiritual guy who like meditates every night and has to do years and years of like kumbaya to make sure that I can get these messages from spirit.
Because there's something about passing out
Jewelry. Yeah, I know exactly what that is. Yeah.
Does that mean that the closer I get to the event, that the fear's not there? Hell no.
Spot on. Like, he's the real deal.
Because I have to have enough ego to get up here in front of all of you. I have to have enough ego to want to do this kind of work.
But all those things came through, and he was just like, boom, 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 you know.
But the minute I let my ego go too far and it gets too big and I start taking credit for this work, then spirit takes this away from me. All of a sudden the messages aren't accurate. All of a sudden I can't do this work. All of a sudden I'm not good enough. I have to keep my ego the right size. I have to keep it middle size. I call it medium-sized ego. How's it going? Welcome to San Rafael. We're getting ready to do another gallery reading. Anyway, feeling pretty good today. I don't feel nervous yet. I don't feel too bad, so we'll see how that goes. I'm Jared. I'm the medium. So medium just means middleman. So my job here is to teach all of you that this is something that you can all do. And in the process of doing that, I share with all of you like the truth, right? How this really works. If I'm struggling, I'm going to tell you, yeah, I'm struggling. Right? You know, oh, wow, this is where my fear came in. And I don't want to be wrong. So I didn't want to say that. Okay. So that's how this is going to work today. So I'm going to walk you through some of the process while I do it so that you guys can all understand how you can use this in your everyday life and how important it is to work with spirit. All right. I'm just going to jump right in now and do a reading. And so my first process is to try to ignore my own ego, which is like, don't read that guy. Don't read her. Oh, she looks scary. Like this is a real thing, right? That's immediately what happens. But so then I have to put, that's me, right? So I know, okay, that's my fear. That's my ego. Let's put that aside and let spirit just tell me who to go to. And so I just will feel a draw to somebody in particular as I scan the room, and I feel a direction that they want me to go. And then I'll go around the room. And then when there's the person I need to go to right there. So see, I got stuck on her. As soon as I got stuck on her, I couldn't take my eyes off of her. And so I have an older male that's coming in. I have two males that come in for you. So I have two male energies that come in for you immediately, but I do have an older male. I have a father figure that comes in for you. So you have, and I want to call him Papa. So when I want to call him Papa, again, the word might not be right, but the sentiment or the feeling behind it is right. Like a nickname other than Dad, it was like Papa or something like that. Do you understand that? Mm-hmm. Okay. First thing I got was lots of love. Give her lots of love. Gives her lots of love. She needs lots of love right now. So and when he said, so again, I didn't mention this, but I'm an empath. And so the way I'm getting my information mostly is by feel. So when he said, give her lots of love, she needs it, I felt that you've been through a lot of tragedy, that you've been through a lot of loss. And I didn't get that because someone said she's been through a lot of loss. I got it from the feeling I got when he said, give her lots of love, she needs it. So it was real subtle. It's a subtle feeling, but again, that's where I get the rest of the information. Do you understand? He said, you've had a lot of tragedy. You need lots of love. It was a feeling, not a saying, but I'm going to tell you he said it. Okay. He's also putting a blanket of protection around you. And so when I get that, it's a symbol of them trying to say that he's protecting you. He's trying to say that he's protecting you. Now, what just happened there was I said they on accident. So I meant to say he, they slipped a word in. If I say I didn't mean to say something, that's spirit's way of using me to say something. So now I know I have another female energy coming in also because he said they did not protect you. And when I said they, I felt a female presence who also is involved in this putting protection around you, okay? And when I get the feeling of they're protecting you, I get this feeling that they didn't always protect you. Do you understand that? It means that they want to say they're sorry for not always protecting you and that they weren't able to always protect you. There is some kind of situation where they did not protect you and they're sorry. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
And again, I got all of that from the way I felt the information, the one word, the one thing that came through. One little thing came through that said, We're protecting her. And it was like, now. That's it. It was a now that followed the we're protecting you, which that tells me that they didn't always. And then I just feel this, that we're very sorry that we weren't always there. Now, there's also issue about you either not being there right when somebody passed that they want to bring up. So were you not able to be there when somebody passed? Who was that? Was that female? Who is that? Same dad?
No,
Who is this? Tell me who it is.
my husband.
Your husband? Okay. Because he says you weren't able to be there at that last moment. And this is that thing that they're talking about, this tragedy thing that you were holding. This is what bothers you the most. This is my symbol. Okay. So when I say a symbol, it means they're showing me something in my head that makes me want to talk about something. And this can mean you were there or you weren't there. I don't know until I start to say it. And as soon as I started to say it, I felt them say you were not, you're upset because you were not there. Okay. But you were. You weren't, but you were. And he's giving you, chills all over. So chills all over is my way of knowing that that's what he wanted me to say. He says, you were there. It's fine. You were there. Do you understand? Even though you might not have physically been there at that last moment, you were there the rest of the time. You were always there. You were always perfect. Like you did nothing. Like there's no reason you should be beating yourself up for this little section. That's what your husband says. You understand? Now, did he get ill before he passed? Or need oxygen? Because he's showing me oxygen. He's showing me my oxygen tube. Yeah. So he showed it to me once. So when I see it once, that's my symbol for we need to talk about him being ill before he passed. When they show it to me a second time, then it means actually, like he actually had oxygen. Do you understand that? Mm-hmm. Did he have like a... Yeah. Because now he just showed me carrying the... Yeah. Like dragging the bottle behind him. So this means this was more of a long-term thing or something where he needed to carry oxygen around. And again, I don't have a symbol for that. I just felt myself doing it. Like I just felt like he's like now using my body to make me do this and drag this bottle around. So was it actually dragged? Like a cart and a machine? Okay. Yeah, because the reason I said was it actually dragged is because he showed me like a pack or something. And then so like he had me doing this, but then he showed me a pack. Okay. So he says thank you. Okay. He says thank you. But then he says, thank you for putting up with so much. Because you had to put up with a lot. And you did it like a trooper, he said. He said you did it like a trooper. He just gave you a little kiss on the cheek. So a little kiss on the cheek, I feel like you would feel him when he does this. So like you may have just felt that because he's like, you feel me. Is there an anniversary or a celebration or something right around this time for you? Somebody's birthday or some reason he would show me celebration? Okay, if not, I wasn't real sure. So here's the thing, like I got this like symbol, but it was weak and I'm not 100% sure. So I will tell you, I'm not sure. Like sometimes I'll be like, this was strong, I know. And sometimes I'm like, I'm not sure. Okay. I got some kind of celebration feeling though. Like I got this new symbol and it's like throwing graffiti in the air. Did I say it right this time? Confetti. Throwing confetti in the air. I said it wrong again. So there's some kind of symbol that he shows me that. So it's like celebration of some kind. So again, I did see it twice. So okay. I may be wrong about what it means, but I am seeing the symbol correct. Okay. All right. One more thing for you. How long ago was this? How long ago did your husband pass?
20 months.
20 months? Okay. So I got a 2. So again, I don't know if it's 2 months, I don't know what the 2 stood for, but it felt like it was pretty recent. I thought you were going to tell me 2 years, but it feels very, very recent. So,
it's close.
So that's okay. What that tells me is that it just means you're in the right amount of healing. So you're doing okay. He wants you to know you're doing okay. Do you understand? Like you're sad, but you're supposed to be sad and you're crying the right amount of crying and you're talking to the right amount of people. He just wants you to know you're doing the right amount of stuff. You have children that are surrounding you right now? Or people who are coming around to help?
Some, yeah.
Okay. Because he made me feel like he was trying to bring people to help. So like I feel like he was trying to get them there to keep, and like, so again, the feeling behind it wasn't like just they all showed up once. It was like a little here, a little here. Yeah. So it was like they were trickling in and it was almost like he was like, okay, your turn, go make her a meal, go do this. Do you understand? So he's taking credit for that. So that's what he's doing. He's taking credit for that. Okay, one last thing. He's saying thank you again, but I saw like a big picture or a big poster or some kind of big honoring of him, but it looked like a big picture or something. So did you have like a service for him and like you picked what picture to have out or something? Because he's saying, thanks, I like that picture. I like that one you picked. So you had to have been the person who kind of like said this picture. Was it big?
It's like a wall of drawings that my kids have helped me with.
Chills all over. So chills all over just means yes, that's what he's talking about. He says, I love it. Because he stood back and looked at it like, yeah, like check this out. So just so you know, that's what he did. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have to say, I asked my husband and my dad to come, and I can't believe that they did.
And all the information that came through that kind of validated
Oh my gosh, was spot on. Was spot on. I've been having issues, grieving. Been a short time.
Totally, 20 months isn't a lot,
Not a long time. No, and I keep thinking, oh, I've got to get through this. I've got to get through this.
Yes.
And the celebration. This is the first. It was the first Valentine's Day I had. And I made a special dinner, and I thought I would try to be real positive, and I, celebrated.
Yeah.
And I guess he was there because I swear I felt him.
And he brought all these people coming, obviously,
and he
support
brings
you.
people constantly to help me, right when he knows when I'm just such a bad place.
Yeah.
Extremely sad. People come and help me. So, yeah.
And obviously, he mentioned about a picture.
Oh my God, my kids were awesome, and they made picture boards.
Oh, brilliant!
Okay, of our. We're married 40 years, and they did a one for our love, and one of family, and another one of just him. And I have those on the wall.
And not many people would have known that apart from immediate family. So
yeah,
definitely came through.
And I'm glad to know that he likes that, because that when I walk by every day, I can talk to him and feel closer. So that just made me feel really.
And do you feel him there with you when?
I do.
Yeah.
I know that I've had experiences where he saved me. Okay. I was in a car spin out, and I heard him tell me what to do. And I thought I was going to be gone.
Who's your guardian angel? Really, isn't it?
Yeah.
And would you get another reading from Joe for a little bit more of a reading from him personally?
Absolutely. You always think about, are these people real?
Yeah.
This is real.
Definitely.
This is so real, and the things that he said are so real.
Can I come to you? So I get a line of females, either next to you. Now, there's a line of females. So when I get that, it's heritage. There's so do you have daughters? Again, that's slip. I didn't mean to say daughters. So I said plural on accident. So what I meant to say was, do you have a daughter? Because what I was going to say was daughter, her, mom. I saw this line of heritage. But what slipped out of my mouth was daughters. So again, that's always 90% of the time, that's accurate if it slips. So you have more than one daughter at least.
Yeah.
Okay. Is mom passed for you? Yeah. I got mom standing right. So I got this line, and now I see her just standing right there. And then mom's mom. And then there's a big distance there somewhere. So either they've been gone for a really long time, or there's a huge distance. So I don't know the difference between those two things, because it just feels like a big distance, and I'm an empath, so I'm just feeling a distance. So it's my job to talk about it and ask her those questions. So when you see me asking questions, that's why, because I don't know the difference. I just know it's one of those two things. I know feels like a big gap there. Okay. And there's an emotional gap there too. So I feel an emotional gap between you and mom. Is that correct? Okay. So again, sometimes when they come in, they're like, oh, I love you. This felt like a gap. Felt like there wasn't as much love. Do you understand that? Okay. And it's just all a feeling. It's all a feeling. And now when I tune into this, mom feels apologetic for that. She feels like she's saying, I'm sorry for that. Okay. So now I know it's not just because she's been gone a long time. There's also some reason she takes responsibility for that. Does that make sense to you? Okay. Did mom have drugs and alcohol or mental illness? Okay. So this is my symbol for addiction or mental illness. So I go into my head and my thoughts and I go, okay, give me something else. And she does this symbol. So my job when I get the symbol is to first ask if there's drugs and alcohol. When they say no to that, then I know they want to say there was mental illness. Okay. Because she started with, I'm sorry. This was take responsibility. And then she showed me that she had some mental illness issues. Do you understand that? There's also huge abandonment issues here. And I don't know. This is you and her, I feel like. So, correct? Okay. Um, but she takes responsibility for all of it. Just so you know, she takes responsibility. Was there abuse for mom when she was young? You know?
Mentally and physical.
So yes. So yes. Because she shows me this, and then she shows me why. She shows me why, and there was a why, and it was not good. It was not good, and I don't know if you know the story or if you know the whole thing, but this was not good. And again, I get the same thing for you as I get for her. So like you would have experienced it, she experienced it. Do you understand that? It was passed down to you regardless. That's what she says. She's like, I'm so sorry. Like the one thing she didn't want to happen, and then it happened. You understand that? Okay. But it stops with you.
Absolutely.
Got chills all over. So like you see me say, wow, those are strong chills. Before I wasn't even going to say it, and I got strong chills. And so strong chills is a yes. Like spirit tells me yes with chills. And so it's really, really, really important. It's the most important thing I could tell you today. It stops with you. And you can be proud of that. You can be proud of that. Okay. Thank you.
I've had one other reading done, and it almost paralleled it. In that I have strong women in my background.
Okay.
And he named 7, which I think it's all my aunts and all my aunties and my grandma, who I didn't never know. But the feeling that she was sorry is the same sentiment I got before. And I never really knew that in my life. I never knew that she was sorry for the things that had happened to me that I've learned through therapy. It also happened to her. I never understood that. I always thought it was just, she was being distant.
Yeah. When he said it stops with you, did that kind of resonate to how you felt?
Oh yeah, I said absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. You guys, you're not with her, right?
No.
Okay. She's like, as soon as
Sorry.
it's okay. It's okay. I'm trying to make sure I'm with the right person. She's trying to steal a reading. Do you have a husband who's fast? Because he's sorry.
No,
yeah. He's
good.
totally stealing the
No,
like
fine. He would.
he would, yeah. So again, I was just gonna say he would have to have been the kind of person who would have been like you understand? And I literally saw him do like an elbow check, like he elbow checked her family out of the way. And he's like, no, she needs this more. She needs this more. Like she's like, she needs this. She don't need this. She needs this. So you understand? That's what she did. So, and again, these are all feelings. When I went to her, like I kept looking at her. I kept looking at her and I kept going, it's her. And then I felt the male energy and I knew he told me husband, and he loves you so much. He loves you so much. There's no question in my mind or in the universe. There's no question how much he loved you. That's what he says. Okay. There's no question. Now you were there when he took his last breath.
Yes.
Because he shows me this and then he shows me a kiss on the cheek. And so that means that you'd said goodbye to him and you gave him a little peck on the cheek and you were holding his hand. So the reason this is my symbol is because it's like you're holding their hand when they pass. You understand? That's what it means. But he knows you were there and he heard what you said to him. He heard that you let him go. Do you understand? He heard that you let him go. Do you have a child that's passed?
Yes.
Okay. Because was that child passed before him? Because when I went to this and I felt this and he's saying goodbye to you, I'm like, he should start showing me when he went in the light, like when you released him, and he said there was a child there that passed before him. And again, that's just good evidence that this is real and that this is really him. Because again, that's not something I want to go out on a limb and say in front of a bunch of people, but it felt very, very strong. Okay. Okay. He just went like this, like a collar. So I see you have a collar on, but he's got like a jacket collar or something, and he just like pulled it. So I don't know what this, like, it felt like a jean jacket or something. So would he have worn like a jean jacket, or was there some reason why he would do this, like pull on a jacket? Do you understand that at all? Okay. Can you tell us what it means?
Yes. He wore a jacket before he passed, one particular jacket often, and I've been wearing it ever since.
Perfect. Okay. So yeah. So that, now I got chills all over, and he's like, yeah. So again, I looked at you and still got chills. Wow. He's strong. Okay.
He's very strong.
And so yeah. So you guys see how that worked, right? Like, and he just kept showing me like this, and he showed me like, I saw your collars, what made me see this. So, but I'm like, no, it's his jacket. Okay. And it's like, yeah. Okay. So now I get this feeling. It's a symbol, but it's a feeling of smelling his stuff and losing that smell, being worried you're going to lose the smell.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
See, the smell's up here though. It's not here. Okay. The smell is a reminder of him. You're never going to forget him, so you don't need the smell. Okay. Do you understand that? Did you have to take care of him before he passed?
Yes.
Because he's embarrassed. There's an embarrassed feeling of the things that were happening to him that you had to experience with him and take care of him. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And so when I get that, it's like this embarrassing feeling. Like, and sometimes it's just people don't like being taken care of, but sometimes it's like, bad stuff going on. And this feels like there was bad stuff going on.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I could take that part of my life out of it, is what he says. Like, there's nothing else I would take out, but that part where you had to go through that with me and see that and do that and feel that and take care of that. You understand?
Yes, I do.
And it sucks for you because this is what you're stuck. You're stuck remembering. This is what you keep thinking about. Yeah. This is the memory that you're stuck in. Not all the good time, not all the fun stuff. This is what you remember. Do you understand? He's giving you a hard time.
I know. Yes.
So this is an issue called, I'm going to butcher this too because I can't do initials either. Post-traumatic stress disorder. If I say it like that, I won't butcher the initials. Okay, that's what this is. Okay, you're remembering that like it was yesterday. When you remember that moment or these moments, whatever this is that's stuck in your head, you're re-feeling it, and it's intense and it's bad. You understand that?
I do.
That's what you're doing. So what Spirit has given me from the past for this is what they want you to do is they want you to, every time you feel that way, every time you think that and you remember that, the training for this is to think of something happy about him. Okay, so I'm going to try to get something. I'm going to try to get a memory from him. Something, you've already thought of something, but I'm going to try to get you something. Okay. He just stood in front of a vehicle. Like he's standing in front of a car. Does that mean anything to you? Okay, say no.
No, not really.
So I feel like I'm posing. You see me doing this. I didn't mean to do this. So I'm putting my hand on something, and I thought it was like a vehicle. My first thought was I was thinking like when you go on a trip and you stand in front of like the cruise ship type thing. Like that's what I felt at first. But then I felt like he was in front of a vehiso. So the vehicle could be wrong. I could be completely wrong. But he's posing and he looks silly. Like there's a silly look.
He always looks silly. Yeah.
So again, there's this silly, like I'm trying to look cute, but I'm silly. Like, do you understand that?
Absolutely. Okay. He did that all the time.
Okay, so that's the feeling, and that's what he's trying to show you. Now, I interpreted it like I wanted to be right. I wanted to have this big, ooh, it was a car thing, right? So everybody was like, ooh, and that's my ego, right? That's me trying to get something that wasn't really there. But I the feeling was right, like the pose. And I didn't even know I was doing this. You guys see me up here posing. I didn't even realize I was doing it. This is how Spirit, I say they slip words in. Well, they use my body too.
I think I know what you're trying to say, though. I know what he used to do.
Tell me what it is.
Well, we haven't had a celebration of life yet. We're going to do that pretty soon. And during that, we're going to show this little dance he used to do. The day before he passed, he got up and he said to me, look at me. He says, I have one thing to say to you. And I said, looking at my phone or doing something, what is that? Look, you have to look at me. So I look up and he's doing this funny little and it's just how we know him. And I think it's just maybe an attention thing that you were trying to say.
That's fine. Again, I know that you got the message before I tried. I told you probably already got it. Okay. But here's the thing that's important. You take that thought, that laugh, that silly thing he did, that funny, like, look at me feeling, every time you remember the other thing.
Yeah.
Okay. And it takes a little time. Yeah. It takes a little practice. It takes a little bit of focus. Every time it happens, every time you feel it, just think of that and it takes the feeling away. And this is how you cure post-traumatic stress disorder. I just got this directly from Spirit during a reading. It's a real thing. I've used it for myself. It actually works. I know this. Okay. So that's what you're supposed to do. Okay. That's your homework. Okay. So let me just finish. Did he wear a watch?
Yes.
Okay. So he just took it off and held it in front of you. So that's a symbol for me of like, you're supposed to give that watch to somebody.
Yes.
So you're supposed to give it to somebody?
Yes.
And you haven't done it yet? Like
no.
At the celebration of life?
Yes.
You understand that?
Yes.
Oh, I got chills. Yay. So yeah, that is the plan?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. So he's just, he's on board with it. Okay.
Okay.
He understands what you're doing. And again, these are all like, that's not a big deal in the scheme of things. Like you lost your husband. It's not a big deal that like you got a message, but it is because it means something. It means that he's not really gone. It means that he knows your plan. It means he knows you were planning on doing that at the celebration of life. And what does that mean? That means he's not gone. Yeah. And if he's not gone, that means you'll see him again and it's not a loss. Do you understand? That's what that means. Okay, I'm all done.
I really enjoyed the experience with Jared. He was pretty right on. My husband just passed away few months ago, 3 months ago, and it's so new, and he hit a lot of points. I knew my husband was going to be very pushy about coming in, if he came in at all. And we did have a brief talk about it before he passed away. He said he would do that. That's exactly what he said he'd do. He'd make his way in, and Jared showed that. And he was right on with many other things. I'm so looking forward to talking with him again after this. And I think he is really great and very helpful.
Thank you for joining me for this episode of Medium Sized Ego. My hope in sharing with you my process and how I get messages from Spirit and how I share them with other people is so that you can all see that this is obtainable. This is not some magic special gift that only the select few have. That's just not the case. Anybody can do what I do, as long as you keep your ego right-sized and practice. So my hope with sharing this with you is that you heard, saw, or felt something today that opens your mind, opens your heart just a little bit to allow Spirit to work its way in and maybe just for a moment make you believe. But don't trust me. I would never ask you to believe me. Believe your guides. Believe your loved ones. Believe Spirit. Because they are working with you every day. They are giving you messages every day. All those times when you get warned that something bad's about to happen. All those times you think of somebody just before they call. All those times that you get that thought. That's not you. That's not dumb luck. That is Spirit.